Good morning. Welcome back to Bible and Blues. I am Cameron, your host. If you like this kind of stuff, be sure to subscribe. Be sure to like and upvote my videos. Follow me along on VidMe. Today we're doing it from the car. I'm going to try to do more from the home. I have a little better, obviously better equipment there and everything, and I'm kind of putting some stuff together to make it kind of fun, a little more fun for you guys to watch, and rather than just sit there and look at me in my car all the time, which we've been doing an awful lot of for the past couple of months. So, but when something came up on one of my videos, kind of an actual, I mean, downright, sometimes it can get kind of hostile in the comment section, as you all know, and I try not to be, I try not to first off, I don't regulate it. The only thing I don't allow in is actual spam at this point in time. If you have something that, I mean, is just asinine and stupid, I'll still let it in there. I mean, unless you're threatening somebody's actual well-being, I mean, it's fair game. It's fine. So, anyway, so one thing that came up was somebody gave a different definition of conservatism than what I feel the definition is, and obviously one of my other viewers felt it was, and he truly believed that conservatism, to be a conservative, you actually have to be a skeptic, and to be Christian and a follower and a believer and be conservative is just completely the bass backwards of what a conservative actually definition would be. So I asked a simple question, and I just said, "Hey, where are you from?" And I got the response back, "Well, I'm from Australia, and I don't see why that matters." And then kind of bashing the concept of Americans feeling like we know everything kind of concept. I'll have to read the comment more closely to really get that, but that's the vibe I got out of it, and I've gotten that before. And in my defense, the first thing I'm going to tell you is predominantly my audience is American. Okay, so if you're watching this from Australia, if you're watching this from England, from China, well, not too much China is kind of, I do have a couple of people that watch this from China. But I have a spattering of people from other countries that watch it. Understand, I'm American. I have spent very little time outside of my country. It's very expensive for me to travel outside of my country. I can't just hop on a train like you can in Europe and go from place to place to place. And you have to understand that this is reality for us. I mean, for me to travel from one side of the country to the other is several $100s, if not more, sometimes, and that's within my own country. I have been to Canada a few times. The last time, but the last time I was outside off of this continent of North America, I was like 3 years old, I think. So, it's not necessarily so easy. So if you think, I mean, we have a bit of an isolationist issue here in America. I freely admit it. There is a whole wide world out there that we don't get to see. But I want to but my point that I wanted to make with this is the fact that he had this totally different definition of conservatism, and he was, I mean, my American friend, it was like, "Hey, I'm 64 years old, and you know who I'm talking about. I love you, man. I'm 64 years old. I've been a conservative my whole life. Don't try to tell me what it is. You guys on the left are always trying. Okay, I can totally understand where he's coming from. This other person from Australia, totally different definition of conservatism, and then brought in the whole concept of you Americans. Okay, so you have that, and on his side, he's saying that you think you're the only people in the world kind of concept. I don't think he quite went that far, of course. I'm pretty sure I'm reading quite a ways into it, but my response to him was, listen, what do they call a cigarette in England? Okay, I'm going to go out and have a fag. All right, now in the United States, that's going to have a totally different connotation. Okay, and it's not nice in any way you cut it. Okay, so and so the point being is that where you're from and the way you speak and the words you use could have totally different meanings. This guy was from Australia. I actually watched a video a while ago where a guy was just, I mean, talking to some guys from Australia and saying, what kind of things would you say that I might not understand? They came up with all kinds of things that I was like, what are you saying? And so totally, completely, they might be using words I recognize as words, but their meaning and everything was totally different. It's just the slang and the way you do things. So these are things that get lost in translation, and I think it causes a lot of problems online because we don't take into account these things. Okay, now personally, in the United States, a conservative, okay, typically is religious, is most likely Christian. Okay. There are conservative skeptics out there, and I'm not going to call you an atheist, because if you're a skeptic, that means you actually are looking at Christianity or a concept of theism as a viable option. If you're just a skeptic, if you're just wondering about it, and you think, well, I don't know yet, I don't know for certain, therefore I'm going to be skeptical about it, I'm not going to just swallow what you're selling just wholeheartedly. Okay, I can totally respect that. But if you're saying no way, there's no way possible that there's an almighty God watching us and blah blah blah, and you're all this and all that, you're an atheist. Okay, there's a difference. And if you don't like it, don't change the definition. I've posted the definition before. Okay, I looked it up. Agnostic versus atheist, are two different things. Being skeptical and being being somebody that has wholeheartedly turned away and said, no way, that can't possibly be true, I don't buy it for a second, and you're not going to convince me. All right, it's a jerk, actually. But most atheists will sit there and say, well, I believe, I'll believe when you give me evidence, and we show them something and they're like, well, that's not evidence. Okay, so we see that all the time. So anyway, I wanted to get that out. It is time for me to get onto this, and so we're going to do Psalm 143. Listen, if you like some of the stuff we're talking about here, if you agree with me, great. If you don't agree with me, put in the comments. All right, I do respond. If you look at some of my other videos, I do respond. I may not respond with something that you like. Okay, I may not agree with you. I won't tell you you're right. Okay, unless I think you are. I mean, if you're on my side and you're posting, of course I'm going to think you're right. But so if you disagree with me and you post down there, be prepared, because I am going to tell you if I think you're wrong. I speak off the cuff all the time. Do you see me looking at a script? You don't. I didn't script this. I thought of this on the drive-in. Okay, and so you want to pick apart my words and parse them and say, well, you're wrong about this, you're wrong about that. I'm speaking off the cuff, so you're going to find lots of possibilities there. It's not that impressive to do. So anyway, Psalm 143. Let's get into the word that is right, the God's word right here. A Psalm of David. O Lord, hear my prayer, listen to my cry for mercy. In your faithfulness and righteousness, come to my relief. Do not bring your servant into judgment, for no one living is righteous before you. The enemy pursues me, he crushes me to the ground, he makes me dwell in darkness like those long dead. So my spirit grows faint within me, my heart within me is dismayed. I remember the days of long ago. I meditate on all your works and consider what your hands have done. I spread out my hands to you. My soul thirsts for you like a parched land. Answer me quickly, O Lord, if my spirit fails. Do not hide your face from me, or I will be like those who go down into the pit. Let the morning bring me word of your unfailing love, for I have put my trust in you. Show me the way I should go, for to you I lift up my soul. Rescue me from my enemies, O Lord, for I hide in you. Teach me to do your will, for you are my God. May your good spirit lead me on level ground. For your name's sake, O Lord, preserve my life. In your righteousness, bring me out of trouble. In your unfailing love, silence my enemies. Destroy all my foes, for I am your servant. Here's the reading of the Lord. Thanks be to God. One that just kind of jumped out at me here. Okay. So my spirit grows faint within me. My heart within me is dismayed. And, he was going he was under such pressure as the leader and the spiritual leader of an entire country, of a land of people, of God's people, and it was a very difficult time for him. And so, anyway, I do have to get into work. I really appreciate you entertaining my thoughts, and I'm really grateful that there's anybody that wants to watch this. But if you want to comment down below and you think I'm completely off base, bring up something original. If you have an original argument, give it a shot, because you don't hear too many original arguments from atheists. Straight up. I mean, it's all the same stuff, and we kind of debunked it a long time ago. Through the very concept of cause and effect. I mean, there is an ultimate cause for the universe, and we can start there. You want to start talking about? I saw something like Jesus never really existed. Yes, he did. And we have writings of historians that say he did, and that actually say he died on a cross, that actually say this happened and that happened, and so and we have historians that actually say he was performing sorcery to try to explain the miracles. Actual historical documents on that. And yeah, I'm speaking off the cuff again, and feel free to parse my words, because atheists love to do that. But you're not going to shake my belief. So why don't you tell me what you think about it? If you agree with me, hop in there. Don't be scared of these guys, because really they're just people. And I was kind of thinking about it this morning on the way in, and I think there's probably about probably a couple hundred are really vocal online atheists. And obviously there's a lot more, but there's really only a couple hundred are really vocal online atheists that really like to troll. So, and out of the millions and millions and millions of people that are on YouTube, it's pretty easy. That's not very many. So, tell me what you think about it, and you have a great day. God bless, and I'm going to be late if I don't shut off. You have a great day. Bye.